1, 2. Yo.
Now we come to the payoff. Mic
check.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system.
Food is a metaphor for information.
Yo, get your head around this. The concept, 2 men about this. Tristy Sackafet, freckles, respect rebels. We'll take the stairs, you stay there. It's next level. Put up the frame, they couldn't see the vision. I'll take the blame when it comes to fruition. From 4 to 3, and then we lost 1. I won't cause a scene cause camera's on, son.
It's a fast food podcast.
You look up, understand. You're in the dark with the sharks, it's a bloodbath. We got the mics, it's a fight, had a tough start. Now got the stripes, it's in sight, it's all love car. Morgan Heights, it's food for the mind. A feast for the palate, you can eat the design. Serial killer with a splash of cold milk. These men are built on weight, lactic acid, hold skills. Yo, give me the space, we need the mic. You know the vibes. Camera, action, lights. We do what we do, we say what we like. It's the FFE. It's the FFE. It's the FFE. It's the FFE. This is the Fast Food Podcast. He goes by the name of Drizzy Sackafet Freckle.
He goes by the name of Morgan Twerk Franklin Heights.
And we are 2 of your illustrious co-hosts today.
Now, in regards to the food in the Fast Food Podcast, this is a metaphor strictly for information.
And we are here to bring you food for thought, soul food for the mind,
and a feast for the palate.
Before we kick off the show, we are on all relevant DSPs. That's Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and basically, if you wait 2 days later...
2 days.
We are on our YouTube channel, which is Fast Food Podcast TV. You can watch the episodes there. Make sure you like, subscribe, share.
Yeah.
Click the notification tab for all relevant updates and new videos that drop.
That's right. Now, here's the thing. Apparently, I've got a certain demographic market.
Yeah.
That watches on YouTube.
Yeah.
The MILF committee.
Oh, really?
So let's just please tell a friend to tell a friend, especially the mums.
Hi.
Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. You know, you never know. We might do a Patreon page. Might do a little more risque solo stuff. Because he's married, so he can't do it. But me, I'm still solo dolo, so I can do certain things. And
they don't need to know that. They don't need to know all that.
But you say it all the time.
Just that one.
Or you want to get? What you willing to do that?
Shout out to Jojo Montana, aka the thug from the south, aka
Jojo Tarantino,
aka
Jojo Kugler,
aka the dry foot barbarian, the best cameraman in the world and co-host. You know the vibes. Good to see you, my JJ.
The Fast Food Podcast.
And this young lady, I've just known for a very long time, and it's mad. And what she's going through right now, I've already been through. So it's just a smile on my face is just because I empathise with you. I done it. Donnie's 8, you know, like that. This young lady, I met in my early 20s when I was deciding I wanted to be a recording artist, and through the grapevine, while I was doing talent shows and performing in different places, I was recognised. When I was recognised, this young lady was already in the cut. She was already there. She was sitting there. I believe I met you in Northwest London in a flat in Kensal Rise. And we built up such a rapport because obviously, 1, we were label mates. 2, both incredible talents. 3, we just ended up growing together. And I always loved and respected this young lady for her talents, mainly because her voice
was just incredible. I personally hadn't heard someone that good at that stage in my life. So I respect that fully. Now, this young lady has gone on to do a madness, which we're gonna talk about. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you songwriter, actress, and singer, songstress, Seyi Shay. One. Nice to have you here.
So good to be here.
I've been waiting for this.
Listen, it's been too many years. Where you guys been?
We just been here
Working.
We just
I've
been.
got to watch you on a podcast now. Yeah. I can't even reach you on the phone anymore. Wow.
I got to watch you on an idol show, man. I got to watch you.
See what I'm saying?
I got to watch you busting up Nigeria like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You get me blue tick and all that. Like that.
Before you had to pay for it. Because now you got to pay for it. Before you get your blue tick, that means you're certified. Now, Elon's just messed up the whole game.
It's mad.
Yeah, that's a madness, really.
But you got to make back those billions you pay for that stupid platform. So here we are.
I want to say this first and foremost. I think I messaged you on this, but when a friend of yours got tears, just goes to Nigeria and tears up the place, it's peak. Like you might have to sift through 1,000,001 DMs. But
different time zones.
But I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud.
Thanks.
And I always saw what happened. I always saw it. I knew because of your drive, how driven you were, how focused you was on being in the studio, how focused you was, how much you dedicated your life to the craft. I was just like, this girl is gonna go far. So based on that, how's things been?
Listen, I don't know. That's such a open-ended question.
Yeah.
It's been great and it's been really shitty as well.
Let's talk about the great.
But we'll focus on the
Only.
great.
Only. Yeah.
We'll focus on the great only.
Let's focus on the great.
Okay, so I moved to Nigeria in 2012.
Right.
2012.
And what was that in aid of?
Well, my girl group, the From Above girl group,
Yeah.
Knowles was managing.
I remember
that
that.
had just broken up, and it was like it broke up like 2 years before maybe. And it was like, okay, where do I go from here?
Right.
And then I was like, okay, well, Nigeria is my father's land,
Yeah.
and music was really coming up from Nigeria.
You preed it.
It was coming over to the UK and America by way of Mo Hits and Debanj and
that time,
yeah. And P Square and all of those guys. And there was a man called Sound Sultan.
Okay.
Sound Sultan, he's late now. He died a couple of years ago, but he was my
Rest
mentor
easy.
and a very good friend of mine. He's a music legend in Nigeria.
Right.
And he and I met up in London by way of someone else. It was a music video. Around the time we shot the music video, anyway.
I remember the one I was at.
The one you were at,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So, and he was like, "What are you doing? You have a great voice." We became friends. We spoke, and then he invited me to come to Nigeria to try a music thing out there. And I was like, I know that I'm Nigerian, but what am I gonna do? Because the only kind of Afrobeat that I knew of again was like Mo Hits.
Yes.
Debanj, everybody knew Debanj, and it was like, okay, right, with the whole Kanye West thing. That was when it kind of came through. Afrobeats really came through in Nigeria. And but I did go. I went to Nigeria and I met some amazing people, and I got signed up quite quickly by
just like that.
Just quite quickly, very quickly. It all happened within 1 year. I got signed up real quickly as a solo artist, no more in the girl band, as Seyi Shay, by this label called Fly Time. And Fly Time, I don't know, kind of birthed artists like. Well, not birthed, but sort of, at some point had under their wings people like Davido and Wizkid and all these people. And so I joined the fold, and all of a sudden I just started doing shows. And Nigeria is very, very big on shows, concerts, live performances. They pay serious money. Like a lot of the time, a lot of artists get paid more money for doing shows in Nigeria than anywhere else in the world.
That's what I was hearing.
Yeah.
That's what I was hearing.
So we really take our music culture and our artists very, very seriously out there. And So, you know, I started doing shows, started opening up for people. I opened up for, I think my first support was, I think it was probably P Square.
P Square.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I supported WizKid, and then I
Mad.
supported, and then I went on to
Flex.
support. It was just crazy. It just went on to support these big artists.
Yeah.
And even artists that came into Nigeria. I think Mary J. Blige came at one point.
Flex.
You know, like Lauren came, Chris Brown,
Flex,
Rick
flex,
Ross, and I
flex.
was on every single stage. And so I started to build my name that way.
Right.
And then a couple of years later, I had this album ready, and I had released my album called Seyi Shay, which was basically two sides of me, two sides of my personality, and I featured everybody from D'banj to
Mad
WizKid
team.
to like Flavor
Mad.
to everybody's on that album. Everybody
Yeah.
that I had made friends with over the 3-4 years that I had been there. I had a few hit songs, one called Right Now that Harmony produced, kind of like a reggae Afrobeat vibe.
I remember that.
That was big in East Africa especially.
I remember that.
And then I released a song called Murder featuring Pata Rankin
Minnow.
and Shady.
Minnow.
And that got to number 8 on
Come
the
on.
BBC One Extra, Radio Extra.
Come on.
Flex.
Then from that song, I got signed to Island Records in
Shit.
the UK.
Yeah.
But it was still 2014, 2015. And so it
Right.
was still a bit too early for Afrobeats in
Yeah,
the
it
UK.
was. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah.
It was still a bit too
Still
early.
still early.
So the labels really didn't know what to do with it. Okay,
Right.
they liked the song, they liked the fact that it was doing numbers, but they were like, "What do we do with this style of music?"
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't the Afrobeats we know today.
No.
The Afrobeats that Bernard and man have
Yeah,
really
yeah,
now
yeah.
blown out of the water. And so it kind of went on, and there was no release plan for my next project with Under Island. 3 years later, I just felt like they were slowing down my career, so I left, came back to Nigeria, picked up again,
Kept it moving.
kept it moving. I signed an endorsement deal with Pepsi.
Flex.
Yeah, so that was
I
incredible.
couldn't even get through to you then. Like,
That was
I remember them times there. I was like, I'm not even gonna bother. Like, still, yeah, Shay, calm, yeah, safe. Do your
I
thing.
signed an
innit?
endorsement deal with Pepsi. That was incredible. That year we went to South Africa, myself and WizKid. WizKid shot the commercial for the Pepsi because he was an ambassador along with other artists too. And we shot that commercial, and it was fantastic
Yeah.
experience. Then I got another endorsement with a phone called Joni, like a cell phone company, and I just kept on getting endorsements back to back. Continued doing shows, continued touring the States, toured Canada,
Crazy.
toured,
Flex.
with my band and my dancers, and it was all incredible. And then
Yeah.
at some point, everything just became very, very. Everything became very hazy.
Really?
Because
Explain.
you know, when you go so far so fast,
Yeah.
and then
There's
you
a
get
lot.
so high that you can't see the ground anymore,
Yeah.
then you don't know who's around you anymore. It's like the higher you get and the more success you get,
Yeah.
the more people start to surround you, and then all of a sudden you don't even know who's who anymore.
Right.
And it started to become crazy because there's me, this British Nigerian girl from London, moved to Nigeria on my own.
It's
No
out there.
family,
It's
nothing.
out there.
Out there in the
Yeah,
like
in-
sheep in the midst of
Mad.
wolves.
Mad.
And literally nobody I couldn't recognize anybody.
You didn't
All
feel protected?
I didn't feel protected. I felt very, very just like, and then I made some friends that were really bad friends for me,
Right.
really bad gang.
Right.
You know, bad gang is a phrase that we use in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And they started clawing. And then I made a lot of decisions that were wrong because of bad guidance.
Of course.
Management that were just taking and stealing.
Music industry shit.
Yeah. Then one of my first manager, a lady who's managing another artist now, she and I stopped working together, and she started working with somebody else, like another artist.
Right.
And that really put me under.
Right.
Because she was my only real friend, like that I
Right.
had,
Right,
and
right,
that
right.
I could trust.
Yeah,
and
confidant.
You know, so when she cut, it was like
All by
Yeah,
myself.
my own now. Yeah.
Yeah. So you did a lot of growth.
I had to do a lot of growth. I had to come back home a little bit because I was very lost. Again, I came back to the UK. You know, my family were there to,
Of course.
hug me, bring me in.
That's
and
what
whatnot.
family's about.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was a fantastic experience, and it has been a fantastic journey. But I just started to get really lonely.
Yeah.
Especially when I realized that friends were not friends, management was not managing well.
Yeah.
This one was this one, not having a foundation. And then I remember going back to this man, Sound Sultan, that I told you about, that brought me to Nigeria, and just kind of telling him everything. And he said, you need to just take a step back for a second. It's all going really fast for you. And obviously, you don't know anyone in Nigeria, really. You just came out here and you just blew up because there was no one like you.
Yeah.
You understand? Everybody was trying to get some with you, but then you let it get to your head.
They saw you as a cash cow.
And they saw me as they saw you as a cash cow, and you were thinking, right, everybody loves me. But no, everybody just wanted this new girl from the UK that's Nigerian, that's singing this
crazy
music. They just wanted their percentage. Friends just wanted to associate and not really be friends. Everything was just a madness. Madness. So there's me going to Kenya, from Kenya to Canada, from Canada to India, from India to this place, just on my own.
That must have been difficult.
It was so hard on my own.
That must have been difficult.
No more Didi, my manager. Shout out to you. We're great now, though. We made up recently. Shout out to you for watching this. I'm sure she will. I love you so much because she really supported me the early years. But it just became and then I became quite destructive to myself. I started to seclude myself and just stay away from everyone and. I felt so hurt by, this bad gang group of girls that I thought were my friends that started to, spread rumors, lies, and all kinds of things, and just, take me to different places that I didn't. It was just getting out of control.
Yeah.
But I grew a lot as well.
Yeah.
During that whole experience, I grew so much. I started to, use my space and my solitude as a growth.
Yeah.
As a growth period, right?
Yeah, you just get back to basics.
Get back to basics.
Yeah.
Really figure out who I am, and then I started to reconnect with people that I knew before the fame and the whirlwind happened.
I get it.
And I started to record music again that was real to me, as opposed to trying to fit in with the Afrobeat, as it were the traditional Afrobeat that you guys don't really hear out here. Right? I was trying to do too much of that at one point because I was feeling like, I can't lose this fame, I can't lose this thing, right?
I can't lose that
Instead of me
audience,
just
that
continuing to sing songs like Right Now and Murder, the songs that helped me blow up in the first place, I was trying to do all of that. So then I stopped all of that. Then I said, nah. So Sound Sultan was like, just go back to your roots and find out what's really for you. And that was a great piece of advice. Then COVID hit. Everybody knows what happened in COVID.
Yep.
Nobody was signing deals anymore. No one's giving endorsements anymore. Tours were not happening anymore.
Everything shut down.
I remember doing a concert for YouTube in my living room in Lagos.
Oh, wow.
Where people plugged in and they connected and it was great. But it just kind of made me really think then, now, what if this COVID lockdown thing does not go away? What am I going to do?
Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, we all felt
all I know how to do is music.
Yeah.
And sing. Like, what if I don't ever go on another tour? How am I going to pay this? How am I going to do that? How am I going to... Do you get what I'm saying? So no one really knew what was going to happen. So then we all had to start reconfiguring our lives and our thought processes and trying to learn different, new trades and new things, right?
Yeah, you got to work it out.
And then I got into this place where it was like, okay, now I'm really alone, right? Because I had people coming to my house, even during COVID. Producers, my band, but it just still felt really empty. And
really?
And I think COVID, what that whole pandemic period taught me was that, if you don't have something else or anything else in your life,
it's peak,
and you depend on just
if
one.
You rely on something, you're in deep.
You rely on one thing so much, and you think you're invincible. That thing, once it goes, it's gone forever. So I started thinking about family, my family, building my family. I started thinking about going to school. I started thinking about starting my own label. I started thinking about so many different things. And so all of those things over the next few years, I did.
Yeah.
I did all those things. And I started my family, went to school, did run my own label.
You went to school?
I got my Prince 2 certificate in project management.
Thank
which
you.
is-
Flex.
which is
That's the big
hardest,
flex.
Like, probably the hardest certificate you can actually bloody get in project management. Then I started my own family. Like, I met someone that I love so much. I got married.
That's the big, big flex.
Yes. I run my own label, and I'm looking after a couple of, people are looking after a couple of artists for me, but I'm kind of overseeing, what's really going on. I got myself a really good manager, someone that has been working with me indirectly for so many years that I didn't even know the guy was always supposed to be my manager. That's
crazy.
All right, not Nigerian, but very invested in the African, Nigerian, and Afrobeat culture, I just started to do so many different things that I had not been doing before. And I feel so much more fulfilled. I'm working on my next album.
Yep.
Right now.
How far are you in?
I'm in. We're in.
You're in.
We're in.
Yeah?
We're in. We're very in.
Calm.
But it's myself and the executive producer of this album have decided that, you know him actually, by the way.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
We decided that this project was going to take time, not too much time, but we were going to take our time because there's a lot to say.
Right.
There's a lot to say. There's a lot of lessons that I've learned too, and there's a lot of pain that I have gotten, and there's a lot of joy that I have.
Right.
I feel
there's
now
a lot to spill
to put into this project, and he's really trying to get it all out of me, and I really am so happy with working people like Zalon, and this producer and the songwriters that we're working with. It's just. I'm just in such a great place right now.
Good.
So 2024, I feel like the album will drop properly. But between now and then, you guys will see me doing some, supporting some pretty important acts.
Flex.
Yep.
And dropping a few singles.
Shay, are you based here now, or are you going?
I'm back and forth. Because the thing is, I still have my house there.
Right.
I still have my cars there.
Yeah.
I still have my clothes there.
Yeah.
I still have things. You understand? Like I still have things there. My man is there. He comes and goes. So and I have a lot of love for Nigeria. That's my home.
Yeah.
But also because I'm born in the UK. And I guess I have a dual nationality. I just get the best of both worlds.
Question. Had you been to Nigeria before you moved to Nigeria as an artist?
My mum used to take me to Nigeria every year since I was about 2.
Okay.
Every Christmas.
Yeah.
So I already knew.
So you was kind of
I already knew the vibe. I already knew the vibe. But a lot of the reason why my life took such a big turn was because I lost so many people that were really dear to me, and then ultimately almost my sanity, because I was like, okay, is this really what life is about? Like, people come and go, things come and go, money comes and goes, just like that.
100%.
And that's what a lot of artists forget, right? The same way you make it quick is the same way it can go.
100%.
What's the saying? This too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
Whatever, whether
Today,
it's negative or positive.
Anna Marie is on top.
Yes.
Tomorrow, Jackie Marie is on top.
100%.
Who was Anna Marie again?
Yep.
That song that you did, if you ain't got like 50 of them
it's
coming
peak.
back after that, it's peak for you.
Yeah.
So whatever you've got, hold on to it with both hands and stay consistent with it and fight for it like someone's coming to take it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if I had known that then, it probably would be a different story now. But I'm glad that I know that now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my journey has really just begun.
Yeah.
Now. And I'm excited to be where I am
amazing.
today. And shout out to Sound Sultan, who died 2 years ago.
Rest easy, King.
Rest in peace, rest in easy, King. He was like a big influence and a positive force in the music industry of Afrobeats in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And we'll miss him. And then obviously there was Nigerian Idol.
Yeah.
Obviously that it was the main judge in.
That was crazy.
God,
that must have been crazy.
It was probably the most. It was probably the most. I don't know, talked about season in the history of Nigerian Idol.
How many seasons had there been?
So it was the 6th.
So it was 6.
Season 6, yeah. So I was
Okay.
season 6.
So kind of it's still relatively a new platform in
Yeah.
terms of
Yeah.
Because what we are now, idols here
Oh,
and
God,
idols
I don't even know if
like
idols
20,
are. I
I
innit?
don't even know.
It's a
What? Yeah, I
madness.
don't even. Yeah.
Are they still doing that though over
I don't
here?
think they
They
are.
do,
I think
but they still
they
do
replaced
X
it with
Factor.
X Factor, yeah, but
yeah,
not-
or Britain's Got Talent. No,
Britain's
is
Got
that not
I
the
don't think
replacement?
I don't think Idols
Idol-
still goes
no,
on.
they don't do
Yeah.
that.
I don't think.
I know American Idol
American.
goes on.
That's with Nick, man like Nick, businessman in show business,
So,
in and outside the bedroom. Go on,
Oh,
huh?
Shay, listening to everything you've just told me, right? I feel like there's clearly been somebody watching over you, right? And I'm the same. I'm like that. I kind of, without going into a long-winded conversation or story, my life has gone in a circle, and it's brought me to this position here, and it was always supposed to be that way. So I'm listening to your story, and I'm thinking, that's exactly how it was. That's how it needed to be for you.
100.
I feel like you had to go through all of that experience because, again, when you left England, that was your journey. That was like, listen, I'm going for it. I'm going to
and I
go
went for it, and I'm still going for it though. That's the
yeah,
thing.
but I like listening to what
It's
you're
like
saying.
I've got
I like
more.
this now.
I've got more drive now than
Yeah.
I did then.
Yeah.
You know, then it was like I didn't know where I was shooting for. I just knew what I wanted somehow, and I didn't know. But now it's the strategy to
But
it.
it's the girl I listened to when you first made that album, 18.
Yay!
Right?
I remember that.
Right? So the girl I listened to making that album, 18, clearly was still trying to even find herself.
Yeah.
And those records that you made, that you sung on, there was definitely you was lost in some of the records. You was trying to understand who you were, your place.
I did talk.
You talked it. Do you know what I mean? So hearing that now and listening to what you're saying is fucking great. It's amazing.
I tell you what, it just feels amazing being
It's amazing.
where I am now. Like I'm so happy that I've tasted that life.
Yeah.
I've tasted it
Yeah.
before already. So now it's coming again, and I'm back again, and I'm doing these shows and these tours, and I'm touring and all these things. It's like, for me now, it's like, oh, I already tasted it.
Yes.
So it doesn't faze me now.
No.
It just makes me feel like I'm not going to let it go.
Yeah.
But you know what though?
Again, for
you've got a new manager, which is important.
Yeah.
But probably the most invaluable thing you've got out of all of this is the experience of the highest of highs.
Yes.
I think the higher you go is the more your low seems like really
True.
low, because obviously distance wise naturally. So I think that is probably the most invaluable asset you've now got in this second or even third phase
second coming.
of your career. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now you got things to draw on, and people under you, when you talk, hopefully they're paying attention because you've experienced
there.
both sides.
Yeah.
So if you say, look, I know going from point A to point B is super quick, but how about we go from point A to point C via point B?
Oh, man.
Trust me, because
Talk
I've
that.
been there.
Talk it.
And you need good people around you. As long as you got good people around you who see your vision. Because some people say they're good people and they're around you, and when you're in your case, when you're no longer the paycheck, they catch amnesia.
They cut, they tear, yeah.
But you got good people around you, with or without shades, who see your vision, and they're like, look, I'm sticking by you.
And
I
I'm
know it's
still
going to be
here.
quiet times,
Yeah.
but when the good times come around, we're going to celebrate even more. But it's a process. It's like food. If you cook food properly, it's a process. If you want a quick thing, go to the microwave. But so I think you having that experience of, I've tasted what it's like to have all the cameras in my face and everyone's
Winning the
reaching
awards,
for Peter.
this one, that one, yeah.
So
Tours
now
and stuff, yeah.
you still make mistakes because if that's part of life.
But different ones, though.
Different
You're
ones.
going to make
Yeah.
different mistakes this time. They're not
Your
gonna be
mistakes
the
might be
same
more calculated.
mistake. They'll be
You
more
see what I'm saying?
calculated,
And you'll be in control of them this
exactly,
time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So briefly, talk to me about motherhood. Was it cesarean or was it natural?
It was natural.
Is it
Natural,
really?
you know.
Shay did it.
Let me tell you something. I'm
Yo!
so grateful to God for the creation.
Come on.
That this creation.
Come
this girl.
on.
She's
Hold on.
such a good girl. She's such a good. I know she's crying right now.
Wait a minute,
What-
bro. What
so
kind of
those
segue
who
was
don't
that?
so those who don't know, behind the camera, our kids
All the kids.
are just
All the kids.
trying to keep everything together.
The Fast Food Podcast.
Morgan Heights, Drizzy Saka, Freckles, Jojo Montana in the building. Shout out to Gamza. We're just speaking to Shay about motherhood. Seyi Shay in the building. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
It's good to see
Good
you.
to see you too,
It
man.
is.
And I love that this evolution that is going on, like this whole thing.
Honestly,
It's crazy.
she's gonna rip this off.
But she's beautiful.
Thank you.
Tell me about your podcast briefly. You started one.
My podcast. Listen, it's a baby. It's in baby stage.
Yep.
I'm not as established and as big as you guys.
Don't
but,
do
you know,
that.
I want to be like when I grow up. No, 'cause listen, I see you guys. I see you guys.
Can you stop screaming?
I know she sees
doesn't
us
like
as well.
noise at all. She doesn't like noise at all.
With your deep voice.
She doesn't like noise at all. But like, it's called No Holds Barred.
Yeah.
It's because we talk about everything.
Right.
We don't hold back on nothing.
Yeah.
We're talking about fashion, relationships, music,
Yep.
motherhood, everything. Everything. And we're talking about everything within those topics as well. We're not holding back on anything. And yes. And
Is
I
it a
have
guest? Is it guests?
Yes,
Yeah?
of course. I have
Right.
guests every now and again. Some really interesting and exciting guests. And people from all walks of life, from spirituality to music, to, corporate, to everything, to fashion.
Right.
And these people are really like sort of some of my friends from, like how you and I are talking today. And some people I've never met before, but, have come on as a recommendation of somebody. And it's really interesting. So on our third episode, that's how new it is.
amazing.
But we've shot so many.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, and that's on my YouTube.
DSPs and YouTube?
No, currently just on YouTube, exclusively for YouTube at the moment.
Cool.
But we are going to the DSPs.
Right.
Yeah, we are going to DSPs. So yeah, check it out.
How are you finding that?
Shay
How are you
Shay.
finding that new
It's
direction?
cool. To be honest with you, it's not really a new direction as like, well, you guys are doing this on a this is like a real thing. And obviously No Holds Barred is a real thing.
Yeah.
It's just like an angle of me.
Yeah.
It's
layered.
it's just a part of me. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a musician, I'm a singer, but this podcast is really just another way to let my fans kind of just in on my personality and know a bit more about who I am and where I'm from, and and communicate with me and engage with me on a different level.
Yep. That's good.
As opposed to just music.
Right.
So, I'm real and this is, evidence of that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it's also just a great platform to obviously meet great people and share great ideas, new ideas. All right, so she's saying bye. She wants to go now. But with motherhood, as you were saying, motherhood is brilliant. I've had some nightmarish stories from these ladies here.
Yeah, it's mad.
About how hard and how easy it gets.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
It
I
gets
don't even
easier.
know what to do or what to think.
You're going to
anymore.
experience it, don't worry. Yeah, and it's amazing. It's a journey.
Yeah.
No one can really
This is
explain
what
it
I
100%.
always hear. You've just gone to. Why are you putting me on blast like this? Come on now. She ripped off the team. She
just
say,
ripped.
"Hey, mommy, don't comb my hair." That's because you always cry when I comment.
Bobby? All right.
But yeah, anyway, it's a beautiful journey. I'm happy I did it. And I'm happy I did it now. She's my handbag. I can't go anywhere without her.
Yep.
Of course. And she's not going to go
I don't
nowhere.
want to leave her with
And she's
nobody.
not going anywhere without you.
But also, yeah. And I'm happy that she gets to see me working like this.
Yeah, it's
From a
beautiful.
young
They
age.
learn so much.
And I
They
understand.
learn so much. Like
And
from
yeah.
every different personalities, different like situations, how you deal with it. Mum's angry, mum's calm.
tell you.
Oh, she did this.
She
they
keeps me in
learn.
check.
Yes.
Because let me see, before her, if you
will
listen,
switch,
I will
right?
switch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where you
so
have to now-
fast. Where now I'm like,
Let me think again about how
God
I'm
bless
go-
you, my sister. Oh, God bless you. And
Yeah.
because you have to watch your mouth, you have to watch the way you behave. You
Of
have
course,
to watch everything.
Which is why Donnie's got the earphones on, because it's a Mazza.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because we go in.
Yeah.
Because we go in.
Yeah.
Can we go in?
Yeah.
Shay, I don't want to keep you much
Thank
longer
you.
because I know the vibes.
I know.
But listen, now you've been here. You're a friend of the show.
Yeah, I'll be back, man. And I would love to have you guys on
Of course.
No Holds Barred, which
course.
is exclusively on my YouTube. I am Seyi Shay.
Okay, cool.
Subscribe,
Alright,
like,
Subscribe, like, share.
all my platforms are I am Seyi Shay, even my website. Subscribe to the website for tour dates, new album, new music, everything new, anything that we spoke about today that you want to know more about. And if you want to know where to see me, catch me next, please follow me on my socials at I am Seyi Shay.
Oh, rock and roll.
Yes.
Fast Food Podcast, Drizzy Sackerfat Freckles, Morgan Heights, Jojo Montana. I want to thank Seyi Shay for being here. Round of applause.
Yes,
Thank
man.
you guys. Thank you guys.
We love you. We support you.
We do.
And we'll be keeping a close eye on your journey going forward.
Thank you.
Love car, Morgan Heights, it's food for the mind. A feast for the palate, you can eat the design. Serial killer with a splash of cold milk. These men are